Hello there everybody, it's HeroicLegend here, and I am back playing for you guys more Stardew. So on the last episode of my randoms, I was going to say Stardew, but Stardew's not a series, I talked about High School of the Dead. Because it's an anime I enjoyed, and I like still. And I figured that's kind of going to be the theme of at least this week, you know. Ooh, is this done? Almost done. My precious. But, like, anime is such a touchy subject, too. Because there are people who are like, oh, why are you watching that filth? And then there are people who get really defensive over it. And I will admit, I see why. You know, I don't like having the games I enjoy being bad-mouthed. It shouldn't affect me, really, but it does because I really enjoy this thing. It makes me happy, and people are saying what makes you happy is garbage, and that sucks. I don't really care enough to get you a gift. Sorry, bud. And for the most part, at least my views, it's not necessarily anime people are making fun of. It's the hentai. It's the hentai. Let's not even kid ourselves. That's what people are disturbed by. Granted, some anime are really fucking disturbing. Fucking looking at you, Elfin Lyad. But like, really, it's just the weirdness, I believe, that really turn people away or turn people off. And that's fine because, like, it is strange. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. A lot of anime is strange. Now, if it's strange for the good or strange for the bad is up to you. Again, with things like Tokyo Ghoul, things like Tokyo Ghoul make people concerned about watching anime because, like, look at all this gore and all this all the misleading shit too. You know, like, and it gets you scared. And to be honest, that's the point of the anime now. It's slightly horror based. The horror comes from both, you know, the creatures themselves, and the fact that like this could be happening. The air of this could be happening, I should say. Not that this could actually be happening, obviously. But it puts it in your head, like, what it gives you that what if scenario. You know, what if this was true? Oh. And that's something that you can put a basis around. You can write stories about it. You can make your own character up about it. And for the most part, like, that's amazing. Stuff that does that is amazing. Like, again, if you remember my Halloween and my attempt at a top 10, I actually talked about some of my favorite yokai. And that the reason for talking about that was because, well, first of all, Halloween, talk about spooky stuff. Yeah. But the second reason was, like, oh, pardon me, holy crap, I'm still tired. I went to bed late. I was playing Terraria so much, all the updates and stuff. It's so good and so hard now. Kinda. I'm sleepy. But just, I was talking about it, and to be honest, and this relates to both anime and really just Japan in general, Japan comes up with some scary shit. Some real bone-chilling scary shit. And that's not riffing on Japan, that's just fucking fact. Recently I read up, because of what I saw on Tumblr, about the 8 feet tall, which is the story of basically Japan's Slender Man. I remember people even joked in the comments of the webpage where I found the story, huh, Slender Man, that your sister? Yeah, that my sister. She won't talk much. Or she has a creepy laugh. I don't remember what the fucking comment was, but it's like, and to be honest, I find 8 feet tall way scarier than Slender. I mean, yeah, Slender has the tentacles and the no face thing. And he's well dressed, which seems to be a trait in, like, certain ghost stories and stuff for Japan. But, like, where 8 feet tall beats out Slender is that she has a calling card, which is much scarier than... Again, seeing him... I'm gonna go with what a reviewer said. The more you see the monster, the less scary the monster becomes. Which means, if I'm watching something horror-based, and you give the monster a lot of screen time because you want to show him off, I'm gonna get used to him, I'm gonna get used to his presence, I'm gonna get used to what he does, and instead of being terrified by him, I'm gonna just be waiting to see what he does next. More like a study than just, actually fearing him. And this has happened sometimes. I've seen, like, horror films that I'm not scared of because, or they don't really terrify me because their whole thing is the gore, It's not the monster, it's the gore. The delicious gore. And, again, as I talked about, and I know I'm sounding so much like, oh, if you love it so much, why don't you go to Japan? You let me fucking finish, please. I'm tired, so I'm gonna be sassy. I want to say bitchy, which is technically true, but really just more sassy than anything. And, just like, the 8 feet tall, the whole premise is that it's a fucking 8 foot tall ghost. And if she likes you, I think it's a he or she, the sex is interchangeable, but if he or she likes you, you're fucked. You basically have to fucking move into a different country altogether, and you can't go back. If I remember, I'm going to try my best to tell you the story in my own words. So what happens is, the story begins with a child. Like all fucking stories, which really want to tear it. Tug at the heartstrings and make you feel fear do. And the kid is often dropped off at his grandparents' house every so often by his parents so they can go, have fun in Japan. Or I believe in possibly Tokyo, one of the more rural, I'm not sure if I ever say that correctly. He going to see his grandma and grandpa, okay? That's what he's doing. Don't need much more than that now, do you? But while visiting them, he loves going outside to play, and his grandparents shower him with love and gifts, and it's all very touching. But one day, he sees, peering over the hedge, an insanely tall woman. And of course, she looks at him and goes, po 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 po, in a very deep masculine voice. So first off, you're already unnerved. Why? Because that ain't natural. I mean, ooh, thank you, cursor. I found a hidden daffodil, which is gonna evidently be the name of all you people now. You're not all my hidden daffodils. No. But effectively, she's a relentless spirit too. And when she likes you, that's supposed to be it. So, again, the kid goes back home and tells his grandparents about what he saw, because she did disappear all of a sudden as well. And for an 8 foot fucking tall woman to disappear, you have to either be, well, forgive me for saying this, blind as a fucking bat, or not paying attention at all. One is rude, the other's also rude, but for different reasons. I can't place it in the wall. Sorry. Got super focused there. But, like, the grandparents, when they discover this, the grandpa gets all, like, shocked and goes, did you look at her? Did you look at her? And he's, the kid's shaking. He's like, yeah, I did. Why? And he's just like, okay, you stay here. He basically tells his wife, you stay here with the boy. Never take your eyes off him. I'm going to go get help. And the kid's fucking terrified. He's like, what's happening? The grandma's like crying, and she's so concerned. They're just sitting there waiting for the granddad to come back. And the whole time while reading the story, I felt fucking tense. I wanted to know what was going on. And the grandpa comes back with an old priestess, and she basically hands him a charm and tells him never to let go. They lock the kid up in his room effectively and basically tell him, you can't come out until X amount of time. Now, the reason for this is really, I fucking love it too. That's actually really awesome how the story played out. A little bit too convenience-y for me, but oh my god, was it like... I actually would love to see an anime of it. And before you start, please don't mention any hentai that have this particular ghost, please. I don't want to see it. The thought of that thing going fucking po mid-coitus is very unnerving. Just thought I'd share that. But like, what made her so terrifying was that from what I remember reading, they're like, you can't open the door at all. You have to be locked in here. With the door locked, the windows were covered up with newspaper. So I imagine once, like, locking eyes with said spirit would have invited her in. And, you know, the last thing you want to do with something that wants to take you away forever is lock eyes with them. That's pure nightmare fuel right there, in my own opinion. But, like, I know I'm butchering the story, so for those who know it, please, be gentle. I bruise. I bleed like all of you. Oh good, none of these fell in the lake. I was about to be pissed. But like, so the kid is starting to go through the night, and he's watching TV, you know, take his mind off things, when he hears the banging on the window. And for me personally, that's the part where I would have just kind of screamed a little. Just a little. But the banging stops after a bit, he drowns it out. And then he hears his grandpa saying it was our right to let him in, and the kid was about to go do it till he remembered what the old woman said. Don't open your door for anyone. And as he was considering it, his grandpa, in the deep masculine voice, all you hear is po, 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 po. And when I read that, I may have screamed a little. Only a little, because I'm still masculine and manly and all that jazz, but a little terror. Little terror. But the story itself, man, like, oh my god. It's super fucking creepy. Like, I'm going to try my best to summarize it as best I can and finish it up quickly, but like, once the kid spends the night, he wakes up, I think they wrap him in a blanket and they take him out of town, and he's surrounded by villagers who are like questioning him and such, and they all drive out. His parents are there, etc. And while they're driving out, he hears tapping on the fucking window. The adults can't see her, but he can, and he looks out the window, sees her making a terrifying face, and going po, 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 po. Or he was about to, and they just fucking book it still. So once they're out of the cars, they lead him all the way to the airport. He gets on the plane, bam, gone. And he's told he's not allowed to return to his grandparents' home. Right? So 10 years pass, and he's questioning if it even was real. And his grandpa passed away 8 years after that incident. You know, so not basically 2 years ago, after 10 years, you know, that was a little confusing, but like, what scared me the most was that his grandma, what was really tragic was that his grandpa passed away, and his grandma had cancer and wanted to see him. And even if it was actually his grandma wanting to see him, I know she'd just bear the burden of knowing she could never see her grandbaby again unless she moved. And that's tragic, and that's what I love about the story itself. It's tragic with meaning. It's a meaningful tragedy. It's not just like, we're gonna make something sad for no reason. Because we enjoy fucking with your feelings. And again, as he's on the phone with his grandma and talking to her, all he hears at the end of the line, at the end of it, is po, 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 po. The calling card. And that's what made it so like terrifying for me. That's what utterly scared me. I know I got super derailed off my topic, but I just wanted to share that story with you because I read up on it recently. It's super fucking scary and creepy to me. But yeah, I want to thank you all for watching and sitting through this like really long do nothing story time. Nice. Until the next episode, I just want to say thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until the next episode, I just want to say laters. Ooh, nice, foraging too.